Hi, Internet. I'm Lucas,
Hi, I'm Monica.
and we are the Beepboop product release team. Today, we're going to talk about a number of new things that we've released in the last week or two. So let's get to it. I'm going to share my screen.
Sure.
All right. So the first thing I want to talk about is the Internet. Sometimes it goes away. And one thing that we've done lately is whenever a student's connection drops or we detect that we think their internet might be a little bit spotty, we display this image that you see, telling them that the internet is unstable and they might not be able to hear everyone, or they might be kind of dropping some messages, and so their experience might be degraded. Previously, we didn't have any sort of notification for this. So students would tell us, oh, the audio went in and out, or oh, something funky happened, or something weird went on. And we would be able to see in our logs after the fact that it was because their connection was no good. But in the moment, they had no concept of that. So now that's no longer the case. Now, whenever someone's internet is bad, we give them a sad talka and a little message that lets them know that their internet is to blame. And I think it's been helpful. We've gotten fewer students reaching out that they've had problems. And you probably know better than I do, Monica, but it seems like teachers have had fewer problems as well in the drills with students just having bad connections.
Exactly, because now that they get this notification, they know what is going on and they try to fix it. They try to change devices or their internet connection if they are using their data, or they change to Wi-Fi connection or vice versa.
Yeah, cool. And I'll show
And, okay.
this tab so you can talk about
Muy bien. I like that. I love the way it looks and the way it works. Thank you. Okay, so one of the new features that we have are awesome, by the way, are the conversation prompts to get students started to communicate to each other while the drill instructor is not in the class. I mean, before and after the drill time. Students usually can join 5 minutes, can join the lesson 5 minutes before, and can leave at any time 10 minutes before the session ends. And so they take them before the system takes them out. So now students can take advantage of the opportunity and practice their Spanish speaking skills with other students, regardless of the type of students they are. So we have these conversation prompts that get students started with that conversation, and they are selected at random in different lessons. So they continue to talk to each other with different subjects.
Yeah. I have noticed before we had this that some lessons, some drills, it would just be dead quiet beforehand. It's kind of awkward. You would see 3 or 4 students who were in the class, but nobody was saying anything. And the instructor would come in and be like, hi, guys. But there were other drills where students started to chat and there was some camaraderie, and it just made the drill start more smoothly. It made it more fun. And so this is kind of a way to try to help that, try to keep that going and try to encourage more students, more lessons to be chatty and social and fun, even before the instructor's there.
And it has worked. I sometimes join a drill when it's the time for me to start it. and students just continue talking. Like, I'm just listening and yeah, oh, okay, that's good. Oh, Monica, you're here. That's great, because that's an opportunity for them to use the target language, not to think about what the drill says, what it's next, but they to use the language.
Right, yeah. Oh, and this shows up anytime the instructor's not there, which I know you know, but I don't think we'd said for the people on the interwebs. So when the instructor's not there before or after or during the lesson, it gives them something to do, like you said. So, the other thing, one of the things that's on the screen that just disappeared is our tips and tricks screen. This is open by default when somebody joins the drill, and it's just quick reminders. If people have done a number of drills, this is nothing that's new to them, but it's quick reminders mainly targeted at students who haven't taken as many drills. That way they can kind of get a little bit more of a jump start on knowing what's going on and being comfortable with it. We always show the headphone message in the browser. We also always show the headphone message and the message about microphones and speakers. But this message actually changes. I'm on my laptop right now, so this says stay on this browser tab. But if I were on my phone, it would say, make sure you don't lock your screen, make sure you keep your phone in landscape mode. So we have kind of device specific things as well to help out.
Wow, that's great. Because students, okay, some of them use their phone, some of them use their tablet or iPad, and some of them use their computer. That's great. Yes, and this has also reduced the amount of emails or survey answers that we get telling us that they have experienced some audio issues, that they can hear the instructor or that other students. And with this, they can have an idea what is going on. And as I said before, they fix it on their own. They just refresh their page and they are back and they can continue participating with us. And problem solved.
Yeah, that's great. That's what we wanted. So I'm glad it's happening.
Yes, for make it happen. Muy bien. So now another feature that we have now is to have the students list. Because we have different types of students like speakers, audience members, and observers. And of course, the drill instructor. And so the students can clearly see who is in the class and what type of student they are, for better identification among them. And guess what, Lucas? I love this because before students couldn't see how many students were in the class and who they were until they were called on during the drill. But now, besides having their names listed, they also see who is on mute, who is not, who is speaking, and who was the last person who spoke. And I think this is huge. Okay, do you want to add something to this?
Sure, yeah, we can show, you're seeing some of the behind the scenes now, internet. This is what our teachers see, kind of. So I'm coming in now. This is the same drill that we saw on the other screen. Teacher's now connected. I can hear myself double because the mic was on. And now a couple of things change. So this is the same student in that class. So the teacher is now in this drill. So we see that the instructor is here. It's me. And we see a couple of other things. We see that the latest voice that we heard was the instructors. Everybody's muted now, so we're no longer hearing the instructor. But now we can identify, this makes it a lot easier when you're having a conversation to identify who's talking. So you've heard these voices of people and maybe you can tell them apart, maybe you can't. Now, if there's 3 or 4 people having a conversation, you can glance at this area and know easily, oh, this is Lucas talking, or this is Monica talking, or whoever, which is pretty cool. Also, you saw that when the teacher was in the room, the conversation prompt went away. And so the teacher can go through the slides and they can do the drill while the teacher is in the room, which makes a ton of sense. So yeah, it's handy for the students as well as the teachers, just because that way they kind of get to know their peers a little bit better. And again, kind of creating that social kind of camaraderie within the drill.
Exactly. Oh my God, I love all of the features. I know I said that before, but
well, good. That means that means we're doing the right things for the teachers, which is what we want.
Okay, thank you. And continue with the teacher up. Okay, now we have the function to bench students who are in the ground level, especially the ones in the audience turn, because sometimes we have students who whether are in the ground level or they have noise in the background that breaks the flow, and we want to avoid that. And also we have some students who don't answer. We just call them on but they don't answer, so that also breaks the flow. And what we can do now is to bench them, to send them as observers, for us to continue with the class with no interruptions. And it has worked great for us just to go fluently with the drill.
Yeah, I'm glad it's been helpful. And I would just kind of click through it, and you can see now that Fred's been benched. When he's benched, he can still talk, so he can finish his turn if he is speaking. And that's great because you as a teacher can say, oh, hey, Fred, this is a level 3 class. You sound like you're not quite ready for it. I'm going to bench you for this drill so you can observe and learn. But when you come back, maybe try a level 2 or a level 1. And that means you can keep on doing audience turns without worrying about a student who's, like you said, out of level or just not responding, or other problems interrupting the flow of the drill for the other students.
Exactly. And they can still learn. And at the end, during the conversation, we can activate their microphone again for us to have a chat in their level if we have the chance.
Yeah. So Fred here has been benched, but he's back active again because I put it back in all speak mode. It's nice. Oh, and the last thing, can't really see this as well, but we have some shortcuts that teachers use to advance the slides and to nominate students, to call on students rather, and to give them feedback. You did great, or that wasn't quite right. And they have keys on their computer that do that. And previously, we had sometimes where instructors accidentally had their caps lock on and didn't realize it, and that would break those keys. It wouldn't break their physical keyboard keys. It just meant the shortcuts wouldn't work. So that's been resolved now. So now teachers, again, that's just one of those little examples of a little bug, a little tweak that we can make that really the focus is on making sure that teachers can focus on the class, can just be their charismatic, engaging, fun teacher selves and not have to worry about the technology. Yeah, and that's what we're trying to do. And you know, every time we release, every sprint, we're trying to just take steps to make it better for the teachers so they can be their best and better for the students so they can be more engaged.
And it's working.
Good. Excellent. I think that's all the big things from our last, or the big visible student and teacher facing things from our last deployment. Can you think of anything else that we should?
I think that's mostly what we have new. We have some other improvements, but I think these are the biggest ones and the most important ones.
Cool. And we, of course, we always have more stuff coming up. So stay tuned, Internet.
Muy bien.
All right. Well,
Adiós.
Thanks, Monica. Adios.
De nada, Lucas. Adiós.
Adios. Bye.
Bye. ¡Ay, lo hicimos!